it's so hot today?
Do you know? It will rain tonight even if it's so hot today.
How do you know?
I know it because of Indigenous Science.
What is indigenous science?
Let me explain it to you. What is Indigenous Science? Indigenous science is a part of indigenous knowledge system practiced by different groups of people in early civilizations. It includes complex arrays of knowledge, expertise, practices, representations that guide human societies in their innumerable interactions with the natural way of living, like in agriculture, medicine, naming and explaining natural phenomena, and strategies for coping with changing of environments. Here are some examples of indigenous knowledge that are taught and practiced by indigenous people in the Philippines. First, we have the prediction of weather. Blood red sunset indicates that a storm is coming or there will be a heavy rainfall. There are no weather forecasts or satellites to predict storms or disaster or the weather in the ancient times. That's why indigenous Filipino depends on the physical appearance of the sun. Another example is the moon with a rainbow. It indicates that rain will fall shortly. Next is the kasili or mythical fish or freshwater eel. Typhoons are believed to have caused by Bayawan, a spirit. It is also believed that when a mythical fish called kasili under the water wants the surface, a typhoon will happen. There is an eel kasili under the earth who wants to come out. It is only through typhoon that it will come out or through an earthquake. Is using herbal and organic way for healing. The Babaylans or shamans, they were a woman who maintained a culture, religion, and medicine for their tribes, and they communicated with spirits that were thought to be associated with natural phenomena. A recognized technique also practiced in other parts of Asia called hilot or ablon. It involves to massage different parts of the body in order to detect areas of congestion and treat skeletal misalignment and energy imbalance. Next, we have preserving of food. Fermentation, air drying, sun drying, and smoking meat and fish are ways to preserve food back then. It is the way of indigenous Filipino on how to preserve and make their food last long. In sun drying and air drying, we have examples such as tuyo and bislad, and in smoking, we have that tinapa. Etag is commonly known for Cordillera people or the Igorot traditional way of preserving meat. Next, we have planting crops. Ancient Filipino back then learn how to farm and use their plant on planting. They are likely to pick good seeds and plant it. The most common crops that they are planting is rice. Next, we have here building local irrigation and classifying different types of soil for planting. Ancient Filipino are building their own irrigation to supply water for their crops. And in classifying different types of soil for planting, field observation was done before planting their crops. They are checking whether the soil can be a good or a bad for the plants. Lastly, Filipinos growing plants in their backyard. Filipinos keep the custom of growing plants and vegetables in the yard. Ancient Filipinos back then knows already how to grow plants in their own backyard. Why is indigenous science important? Indigenous science is important because it helps the people in understanding the natural environment and in coping with everyday life.
Oh, I know it now. Thank you.
That's all for the topic Indigenous Science in the Philippines. Thank you for listening and watching. God bless.